meditations of our hearts. Yes, Lord, the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Please be seated. And I would invite any children in the congregation to come forward at this time. Are there any brave children? I think some are coming up. When you're dealing with water, it's always good to have a towel. You want to come over and see what's in here? See a bunch of water in there, and there's a little boat, and he's sailing. In the gospel today, we're learning from Jesus because God created everything that is. You and me, there's even a guy there. Yep, that's what happens when you have water. Well, God has authority over everything. Now watch your head, because whoa, look at that. The storm came up. The boat turned over, but the guy stayed safe. So we learned that Jesus has authority. Come on over. We're learning about the boat on calm waters, and then the water started getting rough, splashing the boat around. Here we go. All over the place. You ever been on a boat? No? Yes, okay. You know, I'm blind on this side, so I never saw you arrive. You surprised me. Okay, so first we start with calm water. But when you're in a boat, it's not like on land where you got a lot of solid stuff to stand on. Oh my goodness, went over again. That's what can happen in the waves. Yes, here's a towel. It's all dry. Okay, it's good. All right, so in the gospel today, there was a bad storm with Jesus' disciples, and they were afraid for their lives, and they cried out to Jesus, and he said, "Peace, be still." And the water became calm again, because Jesus, the Son of God, has power over even the winds and the waves, whether it's on the water itself or inside of us even. But Jesus has power for that and is always there to help us. And that's the lesson for today. Thank you. Thanks for coming up. Okay? Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing them up. The sermon for today is going to be very different from the ones you've been used to with me being here, because it's really built around a meditation. But I want to cut to the chase, because the gospel for today, the heart of the gospel, is about trust. Specifically, in trusting Jesus. And you know, it's really easy in this place to say that we trust Jesus, surrounded by holy things, on holy ground, with people around us helping to support and encourage us and motivate us. It's really easy when you're standing on a mountaintop of a spiritual experience that you cannot put into words. It is so full of awe and wonder. It's like those things are part of the air itself. It's a lot harder, isn't it, when we're not on those mountaintops or here in this place, when we're seemingly walking through molasses of some problem or condition or situation or relationship. It's a lot harder when we feel that we're out in the desert alone, without compass or water. The gospel for today teaching us about trust. Often I think we have a perception about faith or trust, because trust is the essence of faith, that we see it as something that we kind of carry around like a large stone, and either we have the stone or it's lying around somewhere and we don't have it. It's as if our perception is we either have faith or trust or we don't. And I think that's a really bad perception, analogy. I would like to suggest to you that of a rope. You see, a rope is made up of strands. Some of them can be exceptionally fine. A little tiny strand seemingly wouldn't be able to do anything. But when that strand is placed with another strand and another and another and another, and they're woven and tied together, those strands can become a rope of great size, capable of holding a lot of stuff. There are situations where it's easy for us to trust. But we find ourselves sometimes that rope is frayed in some ways, and situations that tend to fray that more than others. Now, it is the case that Jesus told us last Sunday in the gospel with the mustard seed, that even if the seed is so small like this, it can do great wondrous things, providing shelter for birds and food in its branches. Even so, with one strand. And yet, I think I know our perception with that one strand makes it seem like nothing. And I want to encourage us, me, to live in our trust. So today I would like to take you through a meditation about trust, but I'm going to use some bookends for that. You'll find in the bulletins underneath the sermon that there is called a litany of trust, and it has two parts. And the first part has to do with some of those things that can fray and fragment those strands of our rope, that might lead to us thinking we don't have as much trust. And so the first part of that will come, and then I will do the meditation, and then we'll finish. As I read the litany, please give the response. From the belief that I have to earn your love, from the fear that I am unlovable, from the false security that I have what it takes, from the fear that trusting you will leave me more destitute, from all suspicion of your words and promises, from the rebellion against childlike dependency on you, from refusals and reluctances in accepting your will, from anxiety about the future, from the resentment or excessive preoccupation with the past, from restless self-seeking in the present moment, from disbelief in your love and presence, from the fear of being asked to give more than I have, from the belief that my life has no meaning or worth, from the fear of what love demands, from discouragement. I want to move to the meditation itself. It's a guided meditation, and whether you're here or at home or some other place, if you feel comfortable in closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. But if not, you may focus on one thing in particular, perhaps the cross, stained glass window, the altar itself, and if at home, perhaps a cross or some other thing that's important to you, or even if you're able to look out and see God's beautiful creation, but to focus on one thing. So let us begin. This particular morning, you wake up as you have several mornings, with the seeming tempest raging within. You feel as if you are out on the waters in waves too great for you. And you felt this way for a while. This morning you get up and begin to walk along the shore. It is an exquisite morning. The sun is already up. The water is calm. You can hear the birds in the air. And though the sun is warm, there's a very gentle, cool breeze. There's a few clouds off on the horizon. They're very far away. And as you walk along the shore, you come to a boat. You recognize it as a boat that belongs to a good friend of yours, and decide that because you know your friend well, and it's so calm, just to get in the boat and push out off from the shore a bit. And so you give the boat a push and clamber aboard. You're just sitting in the boat, taking it all in. Seeing the sun, feeling the breeze, and the sounds of creation. You're lost in thought for a while, and as you kind of return to the present, you realize that those clouds, which seem so far away, have actually moved closer, but they're still those big, cumulus, white, big, puffy clouds. And though the breeze has picked up ever so slightly, the water is still pretty much flat. A little gentle lapping against your boat. And you become lost again in the moment. To return to the present, you find that those clouds have moved quickly, and now you see that there are darker clouds behind them, and the wind is picking up. There begin to be some white caps there, but you're still not far from shore. Clouds are yet a distance away. No need to turn. Certainly no need to panic. but the clouds are moving much faster than you realize. And the next time you really come to awareness of your surroundings, the clouds are quickly approaching you with dark purple, black clouds behind, and you can actually see some rain coming down now. And the wind has picked up greatly, and the waves are now beating against your boat. And so you take a good look at your boat and recognize, in a way that you never did before, there's no motor. The 2 oars are there. And unbeknownst to you, as you begin to row, the current just under the top of the water is running against you. And so as you start to row, you're making very little progress. And the storm is drawing close behind. You struggle to go faster, but the storm reaches you. The waves are breaking over the bow of the boat. The rain is pelting you. And you cry out, "Help me, Jesus." And to your shock and amazement, you hear a voice. "I am here." And you turn to see, even more shocked, Jesus is sitting there. And now as panic overtakes you like waves over the boat, you cry out again, "Help me, Jesus." He looks directly at you, piercing the wind and the rain and the waves, and says to you plainly, "I will." And as the last L leaves his lips, in what seems instantaneous, in a way inexplicable, the storm is going by, and you are at the shore. As you draw the boat further onto the shore, recalling the way Jesus looked into you, you discover an insight, a perception about what was causing the tempest and turmoil in you, in a way that you know will bring forth healing and a new avenue of living that you never imagined. Let us conclude with the second part of the litany of trust. That you are continually holding me, sustaining me, loving me. That your love goes deeper than my sins and failings and transforms me. That not knowing what tomorrow brings is an invitation to lean on you. That you are with me in my suffering. That my suffering united to your own will bear fruit in this life and the next. That you will not leave me orphan, that you are present in your church. That your plan is better than anything else. That you always bear me and in your goodness always respond to me. that you give me the grace to accept forgiveness and to forgive others, that you give me all the strength I need for what is asked, that my life is a gift, that you will teach me to trust you, that you are my Lord and my God, that I am your beloved one. No matter the strands in the rope, Jesus' heart is filled with joy in the words that we just said. Jesus, I trust you. Amen.